So the mixed bag that is A24 has this movie that they're releasing soon, which I saw the trailer for recently, and it's pretty crazy, and it's basically like if a civil war happened again today in the USA, and so civilians are being caught up in the crossfire, getting mowed down in the streets, all that good stuff. Being killed in an airstrike is just a normal thing now. Although for some reason Texas and California are both on the same side. We don't really know why, but that does sound odd considering how opposed to each other these two states are in terms of their politics. So I'm curious how that works out. Like, what do these two states really have in common? I'm pretty sure California and Texas could both secede from the US and become independent states, so I assume that the story has something to do with that. But after seeing the trailer, it's hard to believe that this is actually real. I'm sorry, but this trailer made me laugh. It seems like it's just way too serious. Like, come on. I'm not saying it's going to be bad because it looks like there's some money in it and it has a decent cast and pretty good writers. It was written by the same people who did Ex Machina and Annihilation, both of which I liked. They both had interesting concepts and they're both good watches, but the way some of these lines are delivered makes it sound like it's a parody. This shit is hilarious to me. How do they say these lines with a straight face?
There's some kind of misunderstanding here. What? Well, you're American, okay?
Okay. What kind of American are you? You don't know?
I'm expecting to hear him say something like, "You ain't from around these parts," like it's some redneck shit like that. It seems so stereotypical and yet so serious at the same time. That just feels so forced to me. Like, the way I see it, this is them basically leaning into this idea that's been popping up in American politics that conservative media is often propping up, which is that the political landscape is becoming so unstable that a civil war is coming. When? Who knows? But it is coming. That's what they're always going on about. Like, this is like the January 6th the movie or some shit. A movie about a new civil war in the US could be good and interesting, but my feeling is this is just a cringy way of them trying to make sense of what's going on over there in that situation. But that's not to say it won't be fun to watch if this is the case, just in the it's so bad it's good category. I'm just saying that I have trouble taking this movie seriously based on the way that they're framing this. To me, this seems like they're trying to sort of rile up regular people, feeding into the hysteria, and so it ends up just being propaganda. If it's done well, it's a cautionary tale, a warning about the path we're on in society. But if not, it just ends up being a parody of fucking Fox News. Still, if I hear it's good, I'll watch it and has a good chance of being good based on the people making it, but I just feel like this is just going to be a parody of itself. Personally, the only way I think you could make this not cringe is if it was a satire, though. I guess it's fine as long as it doesn't feel too much like a Purge ripoff. We really need honest trailers to do a video on this movie. Ben Shapiro presents The Purge. I really hope people get what I mean. Does this not feel like they're taking themselves way too seriously? While we're on the subject of movies and it is Christmas time, I have to ask, besides Home Alone and Die Hard, do people really like Christmas movies or Christmas episodes of shows? I feel like Christmas episodes are fine, but I do think it makes the episode a little less rewatchable. I'm thinking of animated shows like The Simpsons or South Park. There's just something about that aesthetic that affects the episode, almost like it's dated. I don't hate Christmas or anything like that, it's just that when you watch something based at Christmas time, when it's not Christmas time, it just feels odd. There's a bunch of fun ones like Elf or Bad Santa. There's even horror movies like Krampus, but if anyone's wondering, when it comes to the best Christmas movie, it's not Elf, it's not even Die Hard. The correct answer is Home Alone 2. The shit he does to those two in that second one is basically makes it a slasher movie. I mean, it's like a jovial torture film, and I'm convinced that that kid was a sadist. He got left home alone on purpose in the second one because he wanted to recreate that situation again. He wanted to inflict more damage than he did before, because that's what these serial killers do. But besides a movie about a deranged kid, the majority of these Christmas movies are garbage. I mean, when was the last time you actually saw a good Christmas movie? I even heard that Eddie Murphy just made a new Christmas movie and it's not rated well, so even Eddie Murphy can't make a good Christmas movie. So much for that comeback. After seeing him in Dolomite back in 2019, I thought that Eddie Murphy was actually going to be making a real comeback with these movies, but it seems since then he hasn't really done anything of note. All of these movies have been seen as average at best, and forgettable by everyone. I still haven't seen Coming to America 2, but from what I heard, it fucking sucked. They're saying that they're making another Shrek movie, so maybe they'll bring some energy back to his career, playing that fucking donkey again so then he can just fall off again. And who knows if the dude is ever going to go back to stand up. That seems very unlikely at this point, unless he runs out of money, but there you go. Anyway, run along now, you can scram.